Good morning. Today actually is Wednesday, as opposed to yesterday when I claimed it was Wednesday. Not many of you believe me on that, I don't think. April 24th, 2024. I have audio confirmation, turning desktop audio on. SpeakerBot should be able to be heard. Yesterday, was that fun or what? Yes, it was. And let's see, somebody in chat already said, how are you going to top that? There's the SpeakerBot messages. Let's turn those off so they don't keep coming in. And there is a hello from Zvi Minor. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my friend. Let's see, who was that up here? And John
Hello,
Williams giving me a hello. Ah, blah, 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 blah. My tongue is all twisted. You can see I'm wearing a jacket because I got cold. I opened all the windows this morning. I've been doing that lately to try to cool the house down with hot days, but today was really cold. I realized before the show I was shivering, so I put the jacket on. Brian Lightfoot, good morning, teacher. We're all in our places with sunshiny faces. But my head off was the trailer. So those who see the chat message without seeing the trailer don't actually know that. Why is he saying why is he asking Doug to bite his head off? Jeff Ryman says, how will you top yesterday? I have no intention to try. However, departing from the normal, or the norm, are we normies? Today's show is not unrescripted. There is a script. Sort of. Regrets, I've had a few. I just wanted to acknowledge a couple things that I think, darn, I wish I would have, should have, could have. Yeah, but to start with, I want to acknowledge Tony was totally amazing, don't you think? As far as I know, that was his first time on live camera. I don't know if it was the first time on video, but he actually did the replacement of his motherboard. He stayed engaged with the conversation. He was very, very confident with what he was doing. I was totally impressed and thought he did an amazing job. And he didn't know he was going to do that. He didn't know there was going to be a replacement motherboard. He didn't know that he was going to be performing on camera. And so yeah, that was awesome. Well done, Tony. Then, the things that I forgot, doggone it, because he told us that he was having trouble with that drive that was mounted on the back of the computer. So I wish we would have connected that and seen if we could get that live. It's quite possible that when he connects that to the replacement motherboard, that it may just come up and be fine. But a couple of notes that I made is let's see, not there. Oh, yeah. Connecting that drive to another computer, does it work there? So that'll verify that the drive is functional. I don't know. He may have already done that. I don't know what else he's tried on. Swap the signal cable and the power cable. Disconnect, reconnect both ends. But since he has so many troubleshooting options because he has multiple computers around, so swapping those, does disk part see the drive? That would be a question. Using a different SATA port on the motherboard. Of course, now he's using a different motherboard, so chances are it's going to come up okay. But
good morning, afternoon, Doug and chat.
Hello, Chris. And what else do I have? Yeah, regrets, other regrets, leftovers. We had Filipino food. Ken and Lorna went out and picked up Filipino food from a restaurant. Bought way too much, and then when it came towards the end of the evening, I don't remember what Lorna said to me, but anyway, I started packaging the leftovers up, and I don't quite remember the conversation, but I wound up keeping all the leftovers. Oh, that was such a bad idea. I should have packaged that up in the containers that they came with and sent food away with people. I'm in the habit of keeping it all here because that's what happens with our family gatherings when they're over here. All the leftovers get left with me. So doggone. So I'm gonna have to find a way to distribute those leftovers. If you guys
got too much, share some with me.
Yeah, Chris, come on over. Come on over. We'll do some Filipino leftovers. And then here's another. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. We had additional dinner guests. Brian Lightfoot and Tim Sowell and Jose Alvarez were here for dinner, and we never got them on camera. I wish I would have brought on another live stream to get them on camera here in my Studio A. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But instead of that, we thoroughly enjoyed our company with each other. Enjoyed being in each other's company. Enjoyed the time being together. Mostly out at the dining room table, and had a great time. Enjoyed having everybody here. So thank you so much for Ken originating this whole thing. And originally he was just coming out to California, to San Diego, as far as I know, and then it developed into more and more and more, and they're still on the road.
Duh, I said you might do a live stream.
Yeah, Ken, but why didn't it? Why did you said it somewhere along the evening? You didn't make it happen. So, you didn't carry through. No follow through. No follow through with the Kenster. I said you might do a live stream. Yeah, we said it. We did tell the audience that we might be back, but then we didn't. Drop the ball. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. That was my intention was to do that. Anyway, great time.
Sure, blame me.
Yeah, if that's your request, Ken, he's saying sure, blame me. He's inviting me to do that, so I will do that all day long, any day of the week. Nick Poverman, the florist didn't have the right flowers for the party, so we made other arrangements. Thank you. Alice, we spoke about the history of the internet once. What does everyone think about the future of it? Well, I think it's a success. I think we'll keep it. Do you have any specific aspect that you're proposing that we discuss? Although maybe that'll be another day, because I still think I've got more things coming this morning's show. John Williams, good morning from Madison, Wisconsin. Like your choice of the Rolling Stones. That was the trailer. And so we got all of that. I haven't actually called out people's names. Robert, Brian, Nick, Jeff, John, Alice, Carl, Ran, Selden, Zvi. Somebody glued my deck of cards together. I can't deal with it. Nova. Yo, was gang. WSG probably means something. I'm not going to go Google it. The internets will be taken over by AIs? Nah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. There's a lot of them out there now. I mean, they're going to keep doing more. But humans are still going to be around and useful and needed. Let's see. So that was Chris saying hello. It's Anzac Day in Melbourne. Is that a variation on Prozac? Is that some kind of drug everybody's taking in Melbourne? Anzac. What is that? We forgot about Ghetto. What do you mean we forgot about Ghetto? You weren't here, Ghetto.
Morning, peeps. Are we having fun yet?
A lot of internets?
Armed Forces Day. That's what Anzac is, I guess. Greg M. Moving on. We saw pictures. We did see some pictures from Brian and Ken. Oh, I'm going to guess that was on the Zoom homies last night. I don't think they did that on a live stream. So yeah, well, from Brian and Ken. Well, Brian and Jose and Tim, I think, probably took pictures. No, Tim and Jose took pictures. Brian? Did he? Yeah, he had cameras too. I think we had 3 photographers there. 3 professional photographers. We paid them with food, so they were professionals. Another day is okay to talk more about the internet. Yes, please bring it up again. Richard Rogers, hello. Right now I've just decided to use my laptops instead of my desktop. Need desk room to mess with vintage PCs. Alice will think of a topic. Sam, I spent several hours trying to get my parody drive to work with Unraid. It disabled itself. I ended up putting in my 20 terabyte spare. Wow, I don't know what to do with that. Parody drive. Is that a brand or something? Unraid. Work in Anraid? No, I don't know what he's saying there. What's he saying down here? Oh, this is the Anzac
Parody drive.
thing, I suppose. Anzac drive. Somebody clarified parody drive, but I don't know the word parody. What is that? Parody is like you can have parody for memory. You can have parody. Parody validates that the information was copied correctly. There's Sam with an Unraid link, whatever this is. What will you build? Unraid is a powerful, easy-to-use operating system for self-hosted servers. It's an operating system. All right. Well, I'm not going to go further down that right now. Maybe we'll come back to that later. But let's go acknowledge some channel comments regarding yesterday's show. Alice says, great show. Good to see everyone. Well, that's interesting. This screen didn't zoom in. Usually when I zoom into YouTube, it goes on all of YouTube, I thought. So thumbs up and heart there. Matthew Barnes says, great to see Tony on stream. Thumbs up and heart there. Dennis says, I was actually going to watch today's show. Your 9 a.m. stream was canceled, so I did my normal daily routine. I was napping when you actually streamed this. I saw it on my subscription feed a little after 6 p.m. local time. Good stuff, and good on Ken Stout and the homies, Zoom homies, for donating that fully equipped motherboard. Thank you, Dennis, for chiming in with that comment. We get a thumbs up and a heart for Dennis. And moving on, Mr. Book One, which is Darren Gilholm, you can recognize by the picture, says, good one with yesterday's stream. Tony Wallace says, thank you for your help. Absolutely. Thank you for being such a good sport with us, putting you on the spot and doing such a great job with it. Chris Garrett comes in with a deep, thoughtful comment, as Chris Garrett often does. Deep thinker, strongly emotional comments. He comes in and says, first. Just funning with you, Chris. And then Matthew has a question here. I think this might justify going into on another day and this one, although I'm only 12 minutes into
Deep
this
thoughts,
show.
Jack Handy.
Now here's this issue where Ken yesterday thought we were 10 minutes behind on chat, because when this menu pops up over here, my chat gets frozen. So let's try escape key and then scroll up and down, and there we go. Deep thoughts with Jack Handy. I know that's a cultural reference somewhere. I really don't know that reference well enough to know it offhand. Would I get in trouble if I were to go down that road now? I don't know where that cultural reference goes. A little worried about it. So, parody drive to work in Unraid with that operating system. A parody drive. Well, that's parody as in that's the comedy parody where you do a skit that's a parody of something. That's not parity, which is the error checking form of parody. It disabled itself. I ended up putting my 20 terabyte spare. What else is Sam saying about this? Well, this is the commemoration link. Does he say any more about that issue? And here's the Unraid. There's the operating system. Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jim. You're scrolling all around up and down, Doug. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Chris, yeah, we saw that one. The future of the internet is more and more ads. I don't I don't know. There are some websites that are so abusive with their ads that people use ad blockers. Will they learn that that's counterproductive to be so abusive with it? We forgot about Ghetto. I don't know what you're referring to. Josh Kinder had a birthday recently. I think it was over the weekend. Ken Stout put together a nice birthday video for him. I think as of yesterday, Ken didn't know whether Josh had seen that yet or not. Jim says, good morning. Are we having fun yet? A lot of internets. A lot of the nets that are inside the house, that's internets. Armed Forces Day. Skipping through some things, catching up. Part of RAID 5 array. Well, a parity drive, P-A-R-I-T-Y, not P-A-R-O-D-Y, is that what he was referring to? That is, if I go do a Control F for parity, several hours trying to get my parity drive to work in unRAID. So a parity drive, like in RAID 5, you have at least 3 drives. And data is spread across the 3 drives in such a way that if any one of the drives goes bad, the 2 remaining drives can still function. You're still up and running. You can place in another drive that will become the new parity drive. There isn't really one that's identified as parity because any one of the 3 drives, or up to 5, I don't know, how high can you go in RAID 5? How many drives can you have? But one drive would be the parity drive. So is that what he's saying? He's trying to get his parity drive to work in unRAID. It disabled itself. That drive disabled itself. So maybe that was a bad drive. He put in a 20 terabyte spare drive to function as the parity drive in RAID 5 using the unRAID operating system. Do I got that? Do I got that now? Sam's got his 2:16 a.m. for him right now in Australia.
In RAID 3, there was a dedicated parity disk. In RAID 5, the parity data is striped across all drives.
Yes. Okay, that's a good description. In RAID 5, the parity is striped across all drives. Now, RAID 3. RAID 1 is mirroring, where you have two drives. Dedicated parity disk. RAID 3, there's a dedicated parity disk. RAID 3 is not very popular, is it? I think most commonly there's RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5, and RAID 10 that are commonly used. Was RAID 3 ever much? It's obsolete. Replaced by RAID 5. Okay, so it was a dedicated parity disk. Does that mean you couldn't lose just any one of the drives? Well, you had to be able to do that. RAID systems can include as many as you're willing to have. With more drives, though, it can take much longer to rebuild after a drive failure. That makes sense. RAID 6 is popular where I worked. For Selden Ball, the hard disk drive that went bad was about 1.5 years old, so he did conclude that it was a drive that had gone bad. The drive that had the issues was the same model, but older. Western Digital Red, 20 terabyte. The red is particularly used when you have drives mounted together and they are a higher cost. And I think those are like 5,200 speed RPM, aren't they? 5,000 something. All right, well, let's go. We're 20 minutes in. We've got, do I have anybody to redirect to? Let's go look. I doubt that Ken has any live scheduled. Well, actually, I should be going. I told myself last time I should be going over here because over here I can see his what do you call them? Premieres. And the first premiere in the list. So what is this? This is today at 7 p.m. Let's see. Does Carrie Holzman have anything coming up sooner? No. All right. So we'll go ahead and redirect there. And now Dennis has a show, but I don't care to redirect this. We're going to show that. Dennis, are you here? Go ahead and put a link in chat. We can do a link in chat. Would be good. Let's go do that. I'll go grab that myself because I haven't seen him here. All right, can I get it this way? No, that's the problem is premieres don't show up scheduled on the person's show, does it? How do we go to somebody's channel and see a scheduled premiere? I don't see that showing up anywhere. All right. Well, if somebody figures that out, go ahead and put a link in for his show. And I'll do the redirect.
Maybe it shows as live.
For Ken. No, it doesn't show on the live panel. Premieres don't show up there. I'll go back and show you that. So here, if I go to live, we don't see anything that's scheduled here. We just see priors. Yeah, there should be some way to get to a premiere. And when I look through them in here, it doesn't give me a link. It doesn't give me any way to go to it. Well, I can tell that just from Ken's. All right. I've chased that down about as long as I can go. Then let's go. Okay, let's go look at this because I think Ken is watching, isn't he? Is Ken here? Yeah, because he said that blame me thing. So I want to be sure Ken is here when I come to this Carrie Holzman comment because he goes a little bit more into this. AdSense from YouTube, not Google. Go to the top left of the screen of AdSense website. Look for the AdSense for YouTube, and everything you're looking for is in there. The other links are for AdSense for Google. So when I first saw this, I thought, well, wait a minute, didn't I show that on channel? And no, I did not. And so this did show me something else that is available, although I kind of have a little criticism of it anyway. What I was showing on that day, a couple of daily shows ago, is this email that I got. Told me to sign into the AdSense account. Let's see, I think that's going straight to it. Yeah, and it took me to here. So what I showed the other day was to come down to payments. But what Carrie's saying is up here in the upper left, AdSense for YouTube. I did not notice that or see that. However, I'm disappointed in what it takes you to because look, when I click on that, it takes me to this screen that shows the last payment. It doesn't show when the last payment was. It doesn't really give me very much information at all. So it's not all that I'm looking for. Now, when I come over to the 3-dot menu, that's going to take me somewhere else. But where does it take me? Well, it's going to take me down to this payment section. So you can view payments and see it comes straight down to payments info. So rather than clicking to payments and then payments info, it takes us to there. And it has already YouTube selected here. When I manually come down to this payments info, it was previously set on AdSense for Google. But going through this path that Carrie showed, it takes you through this way. So it's a little bit more intuitive, I think. But then I was looking a little bit more, and down here it looked weird because that email says April 22nd that a payment was coming through. And this thing shows April 1st, no payment. And here March 1st shows 162.19. And what was it back up here? It said 162.19. So this says last payment 162.19. The email says a payment coming through April 26th. So we're assuming that's the 162.19. And then down here, this is all about Google and YouTube being so intuitive controls, right? Now here when I went to payments info, it went back to the Google AdSense. So switch that back to YouTube. This 162.19 is saying that was March 1st, not April 22nd. So what's up with that? Now come down here to view transactions. Here it shows 162.19, April 22nd. However, that ending balance up here at the end of March was 162.19. That gets paid to me April 22nd. So the balance got up to 162.19 by virtue of the prior months. In March, I actually earned 65.73, not 162.19, but this number. That was added to the starting balance of 96.46. Down here, February 1st to 29th, ending balance was 96.46. And if I click on that, then I get to see more. And so this amount has been accumulating over from month to month, and finally got up to a point where it was over $100. Once it was over $100, then another 22 days before they actually issue that payment. And let's see, what over here is showing that it's going directly into one of my checking accounts. That's my business checking account. I have it go into my business checking account because it's that way it's included in my profit and loss for the business. An S Corp, as I told you recently. And yeah, wow. Thank you, Google and YouTube, for being so intuitive. Is it under video? Is what under video? I think I probably already clarified for your question there, but I'm not quite sure I'm knowing your... And if there's still a question remaining there, then go ahead and ask it. The food last night was awesome. Filipino food, I didn't know what I was eating half the time, but I enjoyed all of it. And after everyone was gone, yeah, I was still packaging up the leftovers after everyone was gone. I discovered one of the containers that we hadn't even taken the plastic off. There were so many containers of food. And turned out that was a very spicy sauce of some sort. So I'm going to enjoy that. I do enjoy spicy foods. Not excessively spicy. Maybe it shows as live. Oh, no, that was when I was looking for the premiere. Josh says, did you see the video I made for you, Doug? No, I did not. That you made for me. No, give me a link for that or send me an email with it. I do not have time to watch through all of your videos. So you just made a comment about me somewhere in your video? No, didn't see that. Oh, now wait a minute. You're talking about a while ago. You sent me an email a while ago with a video. And what was that? Yeah, here. And it was shared in OneDrive. Oh, yeah, you were showing me how you use OneDrive. Yeah, I saw that. I don't think it was a question that you're asking. What was that? That was April 17th. Yeah, so 7 days ago. Too long ago for me to remember with that much of a reference to it. Did you see the video I made for you about how I use OneDrive that I sent to you 14 days ago, 7 days ago? What was it? Whatever. I don't do math. Some fault tolerance of RAID 5, but the write performance was worse because all the parity data was written to a single disk. Oh, my mind isn't on my what I'm reading. Oh, we're at half an hour. Oh, I did see all those already. Oh, same fault, the RAID 3, same fault tolerance of RAID 5, but the write performance was worse because all the parity data was written to a single disk. Ah, got it. Yeah, there's some other RAID levels that existed, but I don't think they ever got very popular. Probably got superseded by other RAID versions, levels. By the way, Doug, it's great to hear you do things like hot sauce. And yes, I'm talking about the more gourmet, not the vinegar bonds. What am I going to say? Yeah, I get the hot version of barbecue sauce and hot version of mustard. And I don't really add hot sauce on top of something. All right, I think that's good enough. We got enough done there. There's the email address. What I really want to be doing on this show more than we are doing is to respond to people's questions of issues, troubles that they're having with their computers. And you can ask those questions by sending an email to this address, a comment on any video, or asking in the chat room. And I guess that's it. I guess that's all I've got to say. There's some other channel comments we'll get to more on another day. Yeah, have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.